Hey again, everyone. Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. You know what this is? This is the opening kickoff of the national championship game for 2018, Clemson and Alabama. Of course, this game was played about 7 hours ago. I was tied up at work and somewhat working the game. And, of course, Clemson marched on to a convincing win of 44-16. Most of us did not see that coming. I didn't see anybody predicting a Clemson blowout. I didn't see that score out of anyone. I saw some Bama blowouts in our viewer poll, in which about 65 to 70% of you and myself predicted Alabama to win. I had the Tide winning at 38-31. So this is just the start of the game right now. We will review the tape, look it over. It's Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. All right, I will check out the live chat. Of course, it's 3:30 in the morning. I don't expect many of you to be watching us live, but I'm going to break down the game as I saw it initially. So I saw probably 85% of the game as I was working, but also working the game as well. So I was able to work the game and watch the game as well. And I noticed at this point, it appeared as though Trevor Lawrence was a bit nervous. He sailed that football. The first play was botched as well. We had a 3rd and 7 at this point. And it looked like Alabama got off to a great start. Not initially with the first score of the game, but in terms of the first few plays of the game. Many of us were concerned about whether Trevor Lawrence could handle some adversity that he would see for the first time. He's never played to a deficit and did not play to a substantial deficit in this game. And he threw a bad pass on the first play right here. So he had thrown 2 bad passes at this point, sailed 2 high and wide, 2 relatively easy throws. But he obviously settled down very quickly. So 3 and out for Alabama out of the gate. Of course, Big Q, Quinnen Williams at the point of attack for Alabama was devastating tonight. And again, excluding the pick 6 by Tua that was picked off and taken back, and I believe that was Isaiah Simmons that picked off that pass for the pick 6. We'll see it here in just a second. I thought Alabama played the first few series as the better football team, and then it quickly got away from them as they started to make mistakes. And Clemson didn't just outplay Alabama on this night. They were physically imposing and more dominant. And we're going to scurry on through this game. And I will check out the live chat. But, of course, Alabama comes out, and Irv Smith gets a quick 8 yards. And he was supposed to be a key in this game, and I thought he would be key at the tight end position and a guy that the Clemson secondary would certainly have issues with. I am not ignoring the live chat. We've got a handful of people on here. I will see what you guys have for me. So Bama gets 2nd and 2. We're just underway here. This is the second series of the game, the first for Alabama. And when is it coming? Is it coming right here? No, it's coming a little bit later. So Tua starts out 2 for 2. He gets that to Devontae Smith. And it looks like Alabama's passing game is going to be churning all night. At this point, it looks like it is going to be revved up and going all night. No pressure on Tua, although he did get some pressure right in his face, but a quick outlet to Devontae Smith. So a quick first down for the Tide. Is he coming here? Yes, there it is. And it's the beautiful play. There it is. A.J. Terrell with the pick, of course. So that's A.J. Terrell. I don't know why I said Simmons. Anyway, A.J. Terrell with the interception, and we'll see it in the replay. And you guys probably saw it a number of times watching the game live, that it was just expert on what he did in picking off this pass and getting Clemson underway here. So here it is. Tua looks, throws it out. So it was a combination of things. It was a rub route, it appeared, because the inside receiver did not look for the football. He did not make a break and look up for the football. He made his cut, and he was looking, and it looked like he just was slow to picking off the DB. And then, of course, A.J. Terrell was masterful in seeing the route the entire way and coming off his man and picking off the pass. So expertly played by A.J. Terrell. The Bama inside receiver, I didn't see who that was, but the Bama inside receiver did not get out to do the rub quickly enough. And then on top of that, Tua threw a bad pass because even if he was throwing to the outside receiver, he didn't get it out near far enough. All right. So again, here's Terrell, and it looked like Devonta Smith was supposed to get out here. Yeah, he was supposed to pick him off. So it was a bit of a rub play, and Tua didn't get the ball out. So even though he missed shielding Terrell, Tua didn't get the ball out there nearly far enough. It was a horrible play. Now, this is the part of the game in which I thought Alabama was going to be successful, and they were early, and then they got away from it as they got behind. And that was with the running game. Bama was battering them up front early. The Clemson front is remarkable. You can miss a Dexter Lawrence and still play that kind of game against Alabama's offensive line. That was pretty remarkable. This Clemson football team, I tell you, maybe we should have taken, many of us, for those of you who picked Clemson, kudos to you. There's Damian Harris breaking off tackles and spinning and swerving and getting his way for a first down. So the first two Bama runs were successful, and Damian Harris looking good at this point. They ripped off a ton of big runs early in this game. So you've got well blocked, and he breaks a tackle, would-be tackle by Tanner Muse. And we got the tide rolling at this point, and then here comes the big play out of Jerry Jeudy. And this is when it appeared as though, okay, this is going to be either a situation in which Bama's going to blast the secondary because, yeah, Tanner Muse is not going to cover Jerry Jeudy. I saw a prop bet that somebody mentioned to me just before the game started that you could have bet whether either team would have at least a 51-yard play, touchdown play on offense. And within the first two offensive touchdowns, we both had plus 51-yard plays. So, yeah, that's just textbook Alabama with Tua at quarterback. Jerry Jeudy, the Blitnikoff Award winner, burns the secondary. Tanner Muse should not be on Jerry Jeudy, and there you go. Alabama with the ugly PAT, which would be a harbinger of things to come, of course. Yeah, there you go. Mike Locksley drew it up, new head coach at Maryland. And I'm going to get to the live chat in just a second. All right. All right, Clemson with the ball. What do you guys have? Cheryl's on the line. Hi, Cheryl. Good to see you. We've got Ryan Carr, Bill Clinton, that's correct. Okay, anyway. Ryan, this is the first time I've seen your handle at MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football. Welcome. Good to see you. I know this is crazy. 3:30 in the morning, we're watching the replay of the national championship game. But I was, again, some of you are familiar with my job working the national championship game. Therefore, I was able to see about 80% of it. But you guys know what I do here, voice of college football. We've got to do some analysis. So this is the play that I thought they threw in the first series. Again, I couldn't be locked in and focused on the game, but Trevor Lawrence, his first several throws were not good. He looked nervous. He was throwing high and wide at that point. I'm guessing we don't have any Alabama fans on the line with us. We do have Joseph. Also, I thought, I can't read this live chat. Joseph. Also, I thought once the second quarter started, Tua clearly had the yips, not making good throws. Ryan, you should be proud of your Tigers. This was an exceptional performance. When is the last time we saw a team that we thought was as good as Alabama lose like this in a game this important? 06 Ohio State Buckeyes, consensus number one. Everyone had them number one. A touchdown favorite in the national championship game. They lost and got blasted by Florida 41-14. That's the last time I could remember a team that was supposed to be all-time good just got manhandled. It would be the 06 Ohio State Buckeyes. All right, we got a 7-7 game at this point. Joseph, thank you very much. 2006 Ohio State. No Bammers on the line. Come on now. I know it is 3:30 in the morning. Crazy doing this, but so Clemson's got a 3rd and 14. I could about guarantee they don't pick this up. I don't remember. I used to have a photographic memory when it came to watching these games, but don't recall what happened here on 3rd and 14. Oh, yeah. T. Higgins. There was a matching 62-yard play. 62 yards to Judy, right down the seam on a safety. This is where Deontay Thompson jumped in. He didn't even jump the run. It wasn't even like the play action fooled him. It wasn't like he totally collapsed. He just kind of stood flat-footed, and T. Higgins went right by him. So Clemson's going to score here, of course, to make it 14-7 on the Travis Etienne run. Here it is. That was very well blocked. He didn't get touched until he was about 10 or 12 yards downfield, and then he broke 2 tackles, and then he dodged the last tackler at the goal line. 4 plays, 75 yards, Etienne 17-yard TD run. I have not even seen the stats from this game yet. You're right, Bill. He just stood there, Deontay Thompson, on that play. I can't understand what he was thinking. I just want to check out the stats from this game. I have yet to see the stats. A little bit later this morning is going to be my top 25 to be released. And, of course, that's the MarkRogersTV Voice of College Football Top 25 that actually makes sense. Okay. Don't know that we're going to go through the entire game. So Bama did something there, something good. There it is. So we got a 3rd and 4 for Bama. Clemson looks like they're going to blitz. They show some blitz. Yeah, they bring some people. Bama picks it up, and there you go. Nice hit by Tanner there. Terrell makes the tackle, but Devontae Smith, nice route. Perfect. That's what they've been doing all season. I don't know if you guys can see that. All right, let's get to the national championship game. 44-16, and Clemson could have scored that final touchdown. They could have scored a final touchdown to make it 51-16. That would have looked really bad. Devontae Smith again. So he does the square in from the left side. He does the square in from the right side. And Bama's rolling. The passing game at this point, besides the pick six, was rolling. They had 2 quick completions of decent gains, 8 to 15 yards, and then Judy for 62. And now they've completed 3 consecutive passes here. At this point, Tua is 6 for 7 for 108 yards. But he's got the one awful throw that proved to be the pick six. All right, Clemson calls a timeout. All right. So Tua finished 22 of 34, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And we know he didn't play that well. He's got a nice pocket there. Delivers, Irv Smith. We expected him to be a huge factor, and already he's had 2 key catches. Bama, at this point, despite the one awful mistake, looks like Bama on offense. They're clicking in the passing game, 7 for 8. Everything's on time. The pocket's clean. The receivers are getting open. It's all working at this point. And the ground game's working. Damian Harris ran twice for big yardage. Okay, this is the first pressure we've seen. Christian Wilkins and Cleveland Farrell get to Tua for the first time. Now, this didn't stop that drive. They still scored a touchdown, but this is the first time that they manhandled Bama up front. Jonah Williams got blown away by Farrell, and Christian Wilkins beat his man easily, Rosh Pierce-Baker. But Tua's numbers are good, but he got off to a hot start there at 7 for 8 for 108. So the rest of the way, he only goes 15 for 26 and throws another pick. And this is when Bama looked like they were just going to churn out the yardage on the ground, too. Najee Harris goes for 10. All right, he finished. Najee Harris, 9 carries for 59 yards. Damian Harris, 11 for 57. Josh Jacobs, 11 for 47. So the Bama rushing attack was not devastating, but it wasn't bad. Take out Tua because his yardage obviously includes sack yardage. So take out Tua's 4 rushes for a -9, and Bama goes 33 rushes for 157. Not bad. Over 4 yards per carry. So the Bama rushing game was fine. Harris gets the first down here. And I'll check out the live chat in just a second if you guys have anything. The receiving, we saw Irv Smith with 2 big catches already. He only finished the game with 4 catches for 43. Jerry Jeudy hit the big 62-yarder, finished with 5 for 139. Devontae Smith, 6 for 65. Jalen Waddle caught 2 passes for 25 yards. And then everything else was pretty inconsequential. They really shut down Henry Ruggs III, who only had 1 catch for 3 yards. Look at that. At this point, the Bama offense is churning. Open receivers. Tua is clean in the pocket. The running game is working. Besides the pick six, the other first 2 drives of the game for Bama, clicking. I just noticed here, and I'll get to the live chat in just a second, that Bama had no sacks. 6 tackles for loss. Clemson had 2 sacks and 7 tackles for loss, so that doesn't really tell much of a story. The total yardage, I'm guessing, was fairly significant. Not really. Clemson had 482 yards of total offense, and Bama had 443. All right, so we had the touchdown. They missed the PAT, and Bama's down 14-13. All right, Clemson gets back into a 3rd and 14. So Clemson's first several drives, well, they did have the big play to T. Higgins and the Travis Etienne touchdown run for 17, but the other 3 series to start were awful. That was thrown too late. The DB, Savion Smith, could break on it. Sorry, Xavier McKinney on that play. Okay. Bill Clinton, I mean this season, they haven't had to adjust, so when Clemson stopped in the red zone, they couldn't adapt. Here's a Quinnen Williams play. Bam, he just wipes out Wyatt, and then he gets to Etienne. 3rd and 14 for Clemson. We're at 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Do you guys have anything else for me? Joseph, the play calling and execution in the red zone was also the worst I've ever seen. Oh, my Buckeyes played against Purdue. You guys are talking Ohio State. So obviously what stood out in this game is that Clemson's defensive line, once Bama got those first couple touchdowns, really took hold and proved to be the dominant defensive line that we expect them to be. The Clemson secondary, despite the first play to Judy and the passing game really working for the first 8 passing attempts when Tua went 7 for 8, the secondary after that played extremely well. Sure, they gave up some pass plays and they gave up 295 yards passing, but they locked it down and they played very well in the secondary. They didn't blow coverages. Bama obviously had some odd play calling. The fake field goal was idiotic and stupid, and it was a poorly designed play. Nick Saban explained after the game that there was a missed block, but still to have a backup quarterback. What did we have? No, we had a kicker blocking for a backup quarterback who's slow. 2 slow guys going through the hole trying to pick up a first down. Then we also had, let's see something. Oh, never mind. Jerry Jeudy for another nice gain and another first down. So I think Bama, no, they kick a field goal to take a 16-14 lead, and this is going to be it. This is going to be it for Bama. I think they get the field goal here to make it 16-14, and this is it for Bama's offense the entire night. At this point, Tua has already thrown for 142 in the first 10 minutes of the game. He's only going to throw for about another 150. And they get another big running play out of the running game. So the running game at this point, I would love to know the rushing numbers at this point. They have run about 4 times for at least 10 yards. They have about 4 rushes out of Harris and Harris. Let's see. Bama at this point had 9 first downs to 2. Show the yardage. I wanted to see some rushing yardage. Bama's already got 70 yards rushing at this point, probably. So Clemson's defense really figured it out. There they started to get some pressure, but that was a great catch from the Biletnikoff Award winner, Jerry Jeudy. I don't know if you guys remember this catch. It was exceptional. This was an exceptional catch. They blitzed. He almost popped the ref right in the forehead with the ball. Tremendous throw for Tua to have that kind of concentration, just to stare down that ref, deliver the ball right at his forehead, and the ref just going to drop to his knees. And Jeudy made a great catch. But they bogged down here. They've got a first down at the 15-yard line. And, well, Damian Harris gets another 6. The Bama ground game was devastating for the first 8 or 10 carries. Devastating. Brady, Clemson may be rich tonight. Thank you, Clemson. Good for you, Brady. Cheryl, something about 2014. You guys let me know if you've got anything for me. Otherwise, chat among yourselves. But if you've got anything for me, let me know. Coming up later this morning, the top 25 that actually makes sense. My final top 25 for 2018. And of course, the live chat or the super chat is always open if you'd like to contribute to Mark Rogers TV. Mark, what do you think about Justin Ross? What do I think about Justin Ross? Ryan, what can I say about Justin Ross? He has had, we knew coming out of high school, as these two powers battled for him and his rights, that he was most likely going to be a special player. And now, as just a freshman, as Dabo said after the game, he makes catches in practice like that. This is basically practice to him. He's just a gifted player. He's a gifted player. He is so fluid. There are guys as fast, guys that can jump as high. He's just a natural catcher of the football, a natural receiver of the football. Some guys have to learn those pass catching skills, and I'm sure he has put a ton of practice time and effort and fundamentals and working on his craft into his approach and process, but he's just a natural at catching the football, and it is so effortless for him. And look at Bama. Okay, Bama right there. They've got a 1st and goal at the 1. This was key. Yes, they got the field goal to take the lead 16-14, but they should have scored a touchdown. Jacobs gives them a 1st and goal at the 1. They get a procedure call, and then let's see what happens after this. They'll get a procedure call here. There's 1 minute left in the first quarter, and basically Clemson's made 2 offensive plays. They basically have 2 offensive plays. The easy and touchdown run preceded by the T. Higgins 62-yard catch down the middle. Bama, though, and the pick 6, of course. Bama, though, is working on a 3rd touchdown drive at this point. And they're running at will. They're giving Tua a clean pocket, excluding 2 times. And the receivers are getting open, consistently getting open every play. Bama is the much better team at this point through 15 minutes. But this is when it starts to break down, right here. Is that intended for me, Deep Barrett? What's next for me? The season's over. You obviously have not been with Mark Rogers TV during the offseason. We actually have more to talk about in the offseason. Much more to talk about in the offseason. So keep it right here. Recruiting, National Signing Day, conference rankings, schedule previews, positional breakdowns, historical breakdowns. We've got more to talk about in the offseason than we do during the season. The season's easy. You just talk about the games. We've got new coaching hires. We've got players who have moved on to the NFL and who's going to replace them. We've got to talk about all of that. And I guess I'll give everyone a too early 2019 top 25 sometime in the next several days. Bama gets the field goal. So at this point, there you go. Bama has 220 yards of total offense. Clemson is 86. Bama is the far superior team through 15 minutes. Then it all goes downhill. It all goes downhill from here. Here comes Clemson. Down 16-14. 14 minutes left in the half. There's a flag. Justin Rosser. No, that's Amari Rogers. And Savion Smith with the pass interference. Do I play Madden 19? Is that coming toward me, Vigo? No. I do not play Madden. I do not play video games. They go, I am a middle-aged man. I do not play video games. But thanks for asking. Not that I haven't enjoyed them in the past. Not that I would not sit down and play a video game now and have a good time. But once my kids got to be a little bit older, woo! Fabian Feaster. They got him involved. Mark, do you see this sort of meltdown as sort of an indicator that the title contender pool is about to open up a bit more, or will Bama bounce back and make it back to the title game or playoff? Well, I'm not going to make a prediction on whether Alabama is going to get back to the national championship game next year. We just saw this year. So, whoa, hang on. I do think it's an interesting question. We've seen this in the past where teams that were dominant had this kind of meltdown game, and it spelled a bit of a decline. I do not see that happening with Alabama. I think this is going to be a motivator for Nick Saban and his staff. In the SEC, the closest we have to Alabama is, of course, Georgia. Then after Georgia, we've got Florida and we've got LSU. Would be the two programs that would be the closest to Alabama talent and development right now. But we also have Texas A&M, and they're an interesting wild card in this with Jimbo Fisher, who knows what it takes to win a national championship, has been recruiting extremely well. And so look out for Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M in the SEC. Clemson right now, as they pick up another first down at the Alabama 7. Clemson has a cakewalk in the ACC. Bill tells us Bama will be back. Atheist 4 because been waiting for you all night. As I explained to everybody who jumped on the live stream at the beginning, Atheist, my apologies, but I was actually working the game. That's part of my job. And so I was working tonight. And so I'm throwing the rewatch party at 3:30 in the morning. I don't know that we're going to make it through the entire game. I just wanted to jump on here, give my thoughts, start from the kickoff, kind of analyze the game. I saw about 80 to 85% of the game. Mark, I'm wearing a Trevor Lawrence jersey. Joseph, I agree. However, I do expect the SEC to open up a bit more with Florida and A&M on the rise, along with Georgia. So, Joseph, you were right there with me. Clemson never gets top 5 recruiting classes, and there's the touchdown. I don't know that I saw this play. It was a 1-yard touchdown rush. Clemson goes 6 plays, 65 yards. Etienne's got 2 touchdowns at this point. This is when Clemson, from the time Bama had 1st and goal at the 1-yard line, ready to make it a 20-14 lead, and they were stopped and had to kick the field goal to make it 16-14. From that point on, with about a minute left in the first quarter on, Bama had dominated 220 yards to 86, and the pick 6 really kept Clemson in the game at that point. Bama was running at will. They had a clean pocket for Tua. The receivers were getting open. They dominated the first 15 minutes, and then after that, Clemson just took off. Obviously made adjustments to Bama's running game, and obviously found a way to put heat on Tua. So Bama gets the ball back. We're at 11 minutes left in the first quarter. Bama had 67 yards rushing at this point. And they just picked off another 8 yards. What happened to Bama's rushing game? All right, Ryan, you go to bed. Have a great night. Get some sleep. Get some rest. Thanks for the live stream. I'll be back next time. Go Tigers. Congrats, Ryan. Truly, congratulations to you. Winning a national championship is a pure pleasure and joy. It's a rarity. Congratulations to you, Ryan, and all Clemson fans. Washington will make a run next year with Jacob Eason. They played a matchup zone and blitzed 5. Mark Fields played great. Yes, he did, Bill. Good call there. Mark Fields was exceptional in coverage tonight. Roku, Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia, Oklahoma, top 5, Notre Dame falls down. Mark, you were the man. Thank you, Deep Barrett. I appreciate that. Vigo, it's weird the game was in California. So a little bit later today, for those who have not heard, I will have my top 25 out. My final top 25 that actually makes sense. And we'll continue on to cover college football. I was asked by Deep Barrett what I'm going to do now that it's the off season. And you guys have absolutely no idea if you have yet to experience an off season here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. We actually have more to talk about in the off season as we rank and rate just about everything possible. There's another big run. They just ripped off another 8-yard run. Bama's running game, even to this point in the game, had its way. Second and 2. So if you can't see the screen, Clemson's up 21-16, 8 minutes left in the first half. Second and 2 for Bama at their own 45. And Bama had about 90-some yards rushing at this point. They just ripped off another 10 or 15-yard run from Josh Jacobs. What a great move he put on Terrell. Wow. All right, folks. I don't necessarily know that I can hang on here. I think we know what happened in this game. I just wanted to get it started, break it down, let you know my thoughts. And at this point, this is where it came unraveled again. This is the 2 interception in which he threw it to Judy, even though there were 3 guys running with Jerry Judy. And they get the interception right there. I want to see this play. Well played by Mullen. Well played by Mullen. Came off as his man. And Tua assumed that his guy was going to be open. And Clemson takes it back down the field. They're going to score a touchdown to make it 28-16. I thought Bama still had a shot at 37-16, down 3 scores with about 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Once it got past a few of those drives in which Bama got close, they went for it on that ridiculous play in which they rolled out Tua on 4th down and goal. rolled him left, expected him to go from the 4-yard line, rolled him back to the 7 or 8, and to run for a touchdown on the short side of the field. That was stupid. Maybe I'll do a video on all the stupid things Alabama did in this game. Maybe I'll come back with that one. Hey, guys, thanks so much for joining Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Thanks for sticking around for about a quarter and a half of the review of the game, the rewatch on the night that Clemson wins its third national championship, 1981, 2016, and 2018. Its second in 3 years. We appreciate it. I will see you guys very soon. Again, you can contribute to Mark Rogers TV by, of course, contributing on the Super Chat, but also if you do any shopping at Amazon, grab one of the links in the description section of any of the videos. Grab the link in the description section from Amazon. You don't have to buy the product. Just do whatever you're going to do and just do your normal shopping. But that benefits Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. So thank you so much. We will see you guys soon. And yeah, we've got plenty planned for this week. So I will see you guys soon right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Don't forget the newsletter. I'm doing about 5 false endings here. Do not forget about our newsletter, The Voice of College Football. We will get it out in the next couple days, our next edition. So for the first 15 weeks of the season, during the entire regular season, we released our newsletter, The Voice of College Football, each and every Monday. Then we got held up by the holidays and a few other things going on, but we will be back on track starting just in the next couple of days, reviewing the season and the national championship game. And then, of course, starting next week, back on our regular schedule of the Voice of College Football being released each and every Monday for you. Just send your email to mine at MarkRogersTV@gmail. Just send me your email address, and it's a fair exchange. You've got my email address as well. I'm not going to do anything stupid or unethical with your email address. Just send it to me at MarkRogersTV@gmail. There's about 100+ people that are already on the newsletter chain, and they will vouch that I will not do anything stupid. I will not clutter up your inbox as well, and you will get that information out. My take on the college football season, my college football take each and every week, stats, trends, and facts that you will not find anywhere else, and that, again, goes out each and every week. My contacts are going crazy. I've been up way, way too long. I will see you guys soon right here at Mark Rogers TV. Boom. Clemson threatening again. Congratulations, Clemson.